Junglers set the pace of the game, and as far as game number 1 is concerned, mid laners take it away. Fantastic stuff coming out from NRG. Yammyn just doing what he's always done. Yammyn, I think, there's a lot of consistent players out there. There are a lot of good players out there, and they don't always meet in the middle. A lot of times your good players are really streaky, and your consistent players consistently bring you middle of the pack play. Yammyn is one of the few players that exist in the middle of that Venn diagram. The consistently outstanding from Yammyn for me.
And that's why that NRG prioritized Yammyn's first pick in game number 1, going for the Giannis. And I think going into game number 2 for picks and bans, I think that NRG is going to try a similar thing if they are the first pick. Rival have the selection for game 2 picks and bans.
Let's head right up into it and see where these guys wind up. NRG had the first selection in game number 1, correct?
They were first pick, NRG was, yes.
So we'll see what happens in game 2 as we enter our picks and bans for Rival versus NRG. And as it is, it will be Rival on the left side.
Not a bad idea here. There's so many good first picks in order for you to determine what strategy you want to go for. Now, you can't necessarily ban away everything against Wlfy in the first selection here. I think it was the Ra and the Ices that NRG banned right off the bat in game 1. So we'll see if NRG are going to let that go through yet again.
I expect to see the same bans from Rival, both the Terra for EmilZy and the Serqet. Looking at adapting. So far we do have the Terra. Other side, however, NRG going to look to ban out the Giannis. Character's really impactful. We saw Yammyn on it last time around, so no real surprise to see that one banned out. And the Dodgy instead of the Serqet banned here by Rival.
Maybe it's going to be the Serqet first pick for them instead here. Now, Ra is available for Wlfy. That's where he wants to go. But the question is NRG bold enough to take that from Wlfy? I don't think so. That's why they go for Serqet first pick.
I don't know. I think Yammyn could absolutely pilot the Ra, but I expect him to play the Thoth, if anything, here. Achilles will be the selection for NRG. We'll see where the new guy goes. Rival's iceicebaby, certainly an adept Serqet player, but the Ratatoskr will be the choice of jungle for NRG, having that global presence to match Serqet's just unmatched mobility.
And I think that the pressure here with Achilles in the solo lane, coupled with the Ratatoskr global, means that Deathwalker needs to play something more safe, something that has more perseverance. Cerberus more than likely going into the solo lane, and just like I predicted, Rival didn't expect NRG to strip away the Rod. That's why they first picked the Serqet.
But right into the Odin. NRG go ahead and take the cage this time around. Locking up the Ra can be really devastating. Yeah. I mean, locking up the Thoth is one thing, but the Ra, you also cut down his healing.
That's true. You're going to have that 100% anti-healing. Don't forget also that Serqet needs to be able to ambush over that wall. So if she uses that to engage, not going to have an escape out of it. Ares is the selected ban alongside the Sobek for NRG.
Rival, on the other hand, focusing more on the, well, long range. The Thoth and the Ho-Yi going to be banned out by Rival. NRG have yet to select a middle laner, and we'll see where Achilles goes. But Ram will be the hunter of choice, so it looks like we are missing a mid lane for NRG.
Surprised not to see either a Kronos or a Soul in that selection. Instead, going to pair a double physical duo lane here with the Odin and Ra. It's a little easier to build around. So much physical here from NRG.
That said, the Athena will come down for Team Rival. Maybe we see another Odin mid, like Mouse did.
No.
Just like that? No.
The Nua.
Okay.
No, this is not Mouse Sports. This is NRG. They're, they won 2 championships for a reason, and that was without Odin middle.
Maybe it's a Ram mid, and the Nua will be
I would expect that more from NRG than an Odin mid.
Honestly, up to Yammyn. Nah, Emil's a great Ram player. So I think we're going to see a little bit more traditional stuff come out from NRG. Totally, NRG win game numero uno. How do you feel about number dos?
I like Rival here. They have more control with the Cerberus Athena. Great artillery damage with the Ra, and I think iceicebaby has the ambush potential with the Serqet.
Not concerned with about the Odin pick?
Not really, because there's 4 physical from NRG. I think that it's going to be very easy to itemize against them this game.
Well, we'll see. Certainly something to think about, the itemization against the physicals. Well, it might be enough to just leave Nua ready to take the victory. Rival NRG, one in the books already. Hindu, aggro, take us away.
Thanks a lot, guys. Yeah, aggro, what Tolly was saying is actually a really good point. I mean, I think there's a lot of easy itemization now to try and shut down these 4 physicals.
I would love to see something like a Dynasty Plate Helm early here for Wlfy in the mid lane, an item that we haven't seen a lot of recently, but it's still cheap physical protection, magical power, and magical pen. That's everything that you need. A Lotus Crown wouldn't really work against the Odin because you're not getting the healing, so it wouldn't proc the Odin Lotus Crown passive, but other than that, it could work out perfectly. Look, I love Rival's willingness to say, we know you're probably going to pick Odin here, but we're sticking with the Raw anyways. This is Wlfy's signature character, has been for a long time now, and the setup that he has in this game, I mean, Serqet, perfect setup for Raw. You could toss them straight into the Raw and guarantee the 1-4 combo. Cerberus ult, Athena taunt, plenty of setup here for Wlfy. I think he's going to have a big game.
Who do you guys at home think will have a big game? Or at least the team that will have a big game. We'll get to the MVP after the set and see who wins that too. Let's get into game though and see how this one breaks down. One thing I do want to talk about aggro though is Odin.
Yeah.
I mean, Odin for me, like a lot of people will always go ring, ring, ring. Let's talk about the ring. But he does bring more. His early pressure is fantastic.
It really is. I'm right there with you. I think he's much more than just an Odin cage. Odin deserves a lot more credit than he gets.
He'll always get called as the ring. That's it. Like, that's everything people put as like the ring straight away.
Well, Athena's, only a global ultimate Hindu.
No, a taunt. That's what I think of her.
Well, but every character has something like that, right? Ra is only a snipe and a little bit of healing. Like, everyone has that sort of stuff.
Oh, Wlfy said Rama 50-50.
Wow.
All right, you split. It was only a 4% difference last time, but this time it's a little bit more than that.
4 more votes for Rival.
So technically, Rival win.
Technically.
Which means
it was NRG, but didn't NRG get 56% last time?
They did.
So even after winning game 1, they get it actually goes even. I guess chat's really pay attention to the drafts. I love it. That's awesome.
They are. If chat are paying attention to the draft, it just shows how much of a scene we've got where the people who are watching at home are really invested in understand picks and bans at that sort of level. Because honestly, I'm the same way. I'd probably go with Rival a little bit more so this game just based off compositions.
Agreed. I'm right there with everyone. Plus, I mean, like I said, is there any way that this set doesn't go 3 games? Is there any way that Rival actually get 2-0'd here? That's the reason that I'd probably be voting.
Oh, that's cheating though. That's like...
Well,
I mean, this history,
the script, you gotta know, right? Like, you gotta know.
Well, I know all the scripts, I just can't say them.
I know. Well, I don't know them, but I've got a pretty good guess on what you would write.
I put them on the board at the start of the season, pretty much.
Where's the fun of that? I don't want to know it. I just
wait for Barry and Jeff to split apart and then reunite. It's gonna happen.
That's gonna be crazy.
That's where everyone's gonna go crazy. So at the start of this game, though, NRG going to take away the red buff from Rival with a cheeky little invade there. Red buff was already taken as well on the other side of things, as Wlfy did manage to invade with the pressure and help from Callus onto the red buff out of NRG. So just an answer back of the one loss on the other side of the map.
Vote's not even going to try and stick around and passively absorb some of those minions. Doesn't want to push up quite that far against a level 2 Odin, so instead just heads towards his back camps.
Early gank right from Ice maybe, or just a bit of soaking of experience could be the option.
iceicebaby.
Okay.
You said ice maybe.
Oh, okay. I was really confused. I'm like, really? Is that where we're going to go?
Oh, I was super proud of that one. And you didn't even get it.
No. maniaKK on the right-hand side.
That's not the same thing. No, it wasn't.
The Achilles.
You don't get it. Never mind.
EmilZy.
You never understand me.
I don't want to. That's the reason. You just
that was a good joke. It was like...
I guess it was. It just slipped me by because it was a pun.
Yeah, a masterful pun, by the way.
Adapts in the mid. Oh, nice little stuff from Yammyn. Just prevents some of that. But now iceice making the rotation. Going to jump in, look for a kiss. And the kiss did get the beads out. And immediately back, though, comes emilZy looking for a bird bomb. Going to get danced through by the Deathbane. Good pressure from both these two teams. And I tell you what, if that line would have hit emilZy, that could have been a quick trip back to base for the support player from NRG.
It was a good juke by Wlfy to make sure he didn't have to use his Aegis in response to emilZy's bird bomb up and over that wall, but adapting meets up with Ice in the jungle. Ice willing to play aggressive here, detonates those catalysts, but adapting should be able to secure his own XP Harpies.
Yeah, especially with emilZy being around too, there's not a whole lot Ice can do about it, but Ice still wanting to get aggressive. He knows the speed buff's up. He's got pressure in the mid lane from Callus and Wlfy too.
He's just waiting.
They're going to rotate round, and there's the taunt.
Oh, no.
Just missed emilZy. emilZy with a nice little step to the right. gives a bird bomb to iceice, who didn't really like that too much, but should be able to sustain a little bit with the help of Ra, but not going to look for the harpies because of Yammyn.
Yammyn there had that route available too, but didn't quite get a chance to use it. But now emilZy adapting it his head towards speed because Ice is so poked. He's got to go back to base, and it all comes off the back of that missed taunt.
Slowest race in the jungle ever of two supports with no boots going, all right, I'm going to make it there too. Buff will be taken away there. Oh no, it will not.
No, he has purple. emilZy has purple. I don't think that Kala stole that with reach. No way.
Sure?
Yeah,
Okay,
no way.
you're right,
He didn't get it.
I got way too excited for no reason, and I was like, did he just do it with reach?
Emil's here, and Wlfy's only level 3. Emil's level 5, but is healthy enough that he doesn't go for the snipes.
Are we in season 4?
Wlfy had to use the Aegis, though, so was potential for emilitoo to go up into the sky.
So the Hunters have pretty much been left alone on this left-hand side since the start of the game. Granted, we saw NRG have a couple of members there to begin, but the answer back was, well, if Vote's going to be solo, we're going to let emilitoo solo as well. And so these Hunters may hit late game a little bit quicker if the focus is going to be on the mid lane now, where we see both the supports hanging out.
And that's, as I was saying in game 1, Rival hasn't done a lot of this, but it seems to have switched it up here because Vote is going to be very safe on this Jing Wei. Even against something like a Ram, it's so hard to find a solo kill onto a character like Jing Wei.
iceice wrapping around the middle, not spotted out here by the members of NRG, and 2 kisses to Yammyn, not the type he really likes. Will bring down first blood the way of Rival.
Beads were used earlier by Yammyn because of the aggression from Kalas, Ice, and Wlfy as a trio. That time, Ice, not even level 5, but understanding how much damage she has. Nice rotation in, and that's taking advantage of that early lack of wards. And that's not a knock on NRG. It's impossible to ward there at this point in the game because no one had really backed to base yet to buy any. It was just really great identification of no one from NRG had backed, so you know that wraparound from the top side is very safe to do.
Some adjustments as well coming out from emilZy playing the Odin too. Started off with Blink this game. Then went for Reinforced Shoes too, expecting to take a little bit more damage this game. The extra mobility not available though by going this option, but the Blink kind of makes up for that.
It does, and it just gives him that extra bit of crowd control reduction against the heavy CC comp from Rival. It's going to lower that stun duration from Cerberus, the taunt duration from Kalas, and from iceicebaby with that madness. So I think this is a great pickup. It does make him lose one of his greatest strengths as Odin support, which is early game damage, but it's worth it for the safety.
Notice that emilZy actually hit level 5 before Wlfy in the mid lane. That's an interesting one there. Kalas also level 4 at the moment. The pressure definitely all for energy now, but in the jungle adapting, he's a snipe, and the poison will tick away. And the rat explodes in the sky.
Love it.
It's like a firework.
Yeah.
It's like a pretty firework.
Pop. And he popped right there because Wlfy, just perfect synergy with iceicebaby. As I mentioned, Serqet Ra is one of my favorite combos to play as a mid laner because Serqet has such excellent setup with that madness and last breath combo, especially now that Serqet had one of those pass-throughs where before, when you were tossing a target, it gave them iframes on the movement, and you could end up missing your snipe because of that. No longer. In that situation, Adapting realizes he's in a lot of trouble, tries to go up into the sky, and would have gotten out of there had Wlfy not been right on time with the snipe.
Right-hand side, though, they're getting a bit aggressive again with iceicebaby looking for a bit of a play around the blue buff. maniaKK lost half his health. Is now Deathwalker going to come in, force out the ultimate from maniaKK defensively? Kalas could have given chase there with the dash taunt, but chose against it. Instead, Rival will just take the blue and walk back towards lane. But game 1, it was all Adapting setting the pace. Game 2, iceicebaby's the one with the 2 kills here. Bit of a role reversal now.
This is what's exciting, man, is that now it's Adapting's turn to play from behind and see how he can make it happen, but has done so very well so far during his time in the Pro League, of course.
Oh, nice ring onto Wlfy, and Wlfy trapped inside. Could spell a lot of problems. Clay Soldier is out, but the Aegis was perfectly timed.
Oh, yeah.
Connects with emilZy, but the ghostly fog helps out emilZy get back to safety. iceice would have loved to get in there if he could. Not chance this time, but maybe a lazy back. Maybe a lazy back.
Ice has ult, but no blink. Couldn't get under that tower safely enough. Decides to let both members back. Great snipe there from Wlfy. Well-timed Aegis as well, just in case. Not sure if it would have been enough to bring him down, but could have been close. So make sure that he's playing more safe than sorry. And then a great snipe on the back end. Just Nuwa Fog, man. It's a really, really underrated ability. That extra bit of movement speed, the stealth. AoE, by the way, for multiple members. Crazy.
It's the only ability I actually like on Nuwa.
The only one?
Yeah. I actually think she's really lackluster. I don't value her as much as a lot of people do. I get her safety.
Oh, I thought you meant like playing as her. No, I agree with you. I think she's overvalued.
And I think the fog is the one thing that's always consistently useful in the game. I think clay minions are kind of bleh. They do set up for a nice stun, but you see it coming. You have to use 2 abilities to get them to detonate.
Outside of her
damage.
ultimate, which is obviously the best ability in the kit. That's why you pick her. I agree with you that the 2 best parts of Nuwa's kit is the free root that you get from your passive and the fog. I think both of those abilities are incredible, or one's a passive, one's an ability. Both are incredible and really bring Nuwa that extra bit of utility.
It's situations like that where Wlfy was trapped inside the ring and you're like, all right, all I want now is just one nice mage nuke.
And you don't have it.
And what does Nuwa not have? That
Mage
sort
nuke.
of ability. Puts the pressure on. Talking about pressure on, Rival strip away the blue, but Ice went to
Ice.
ambush. No ambush this time round. That was the first time the clay minion stun actually came through. Of course it did, cast the curse.
Yep.
But a good answer back from NRG immediately to the pressure that Rival have been doing across the map.
And where does Adapting go? Straight to the XP camp to check it.
Speed, really.
He's going to try and
dream.
get that down. Speed not going to be up for a little bit longer, but that's just unfortunate timing for Ice. Nice steal there, I think,
Yeah.
from Kalas to get at least one of those XP Harpies.
I do tell you what, though, the funny thing is now that that Harpy camp is in the new speed area.
Yep.
That is where all junglers seem to go to. They've still not moved on, although that experience camp is worth quite a lot of experience.
It really is. It's a great way to get yourself ahead as a jungler or a soul laner, even a mid laner. If you see a jungler on the left side of the map, check those XP camps because they're almost always going to be up. Their respawn is incredibly low, and they are worth quite a bit. Can you imagine if that's where speed buff was? How often that would be getting invaded?
Oh, yeah.
On the current map, it'd be crazy how
like
often you'd get invaded.
Every other season, pretty much.
But
Hunters,
more often than ever here.
Sure.
I mean, with how much more consistently the camps are up.
Not spoke about the Hunters just for a while, but they've been left alone still, and that means they are getting their levels from Season 4. Something the Hunters need the levels to get the gold, to get the itemization more so than anything else. And already the Devour's Gauntlets online, stacking away small lead for Vote, as you kind of expect from a Jing way.
Both Vote and emilitoo top of the net worth charts so far, and they haven't split a wave yet between
Danger
the two of them,
signs.
except for the early game for emilitoo.
I see danger signs in both these teams where they've got to respect the Hunters when they come into these fights.
Yep.
Specifically, if they're going to allow them to get as much free farm as they are doing. That crit build that both of these technically could go for here could start swinging unless they go for the pen option, which will also be viable.
I really hope to see Vote.
Big fight on the
rotate.
right hand side. We just saw the aggression coming out from iceicebaby. They will find the pick on maniaKK. Nothing they can really do. Once Kalas turned up, it was kind of like, well,
Yep.
you are going to die. Just a matter of when.
Sprint used, though, to make sure that they can get out of range of emilZy's blink. emilZy has the cage, but doesn't want to jump all the way underneath that tower.
Good
Because
sprint.
Deathwalker still has his ultimate.
Yeah, really good sprint.
He's
That's
looking
a
for
big
it.
point. And he's going to put some pressure on emilZy, but the shield will absorb most of that damage. With Nuwa being over here too, that means Adapt is going to hold mid to make sure that Wlfy doesn't pressure the tower too much. And that'll be that.
And what I was about to say about I want to see Vote be a part of these team fights a little bit earlier than maybe emilitoo is because that CC chain potential from Athena taunt into the persistent gust knockup, insane. Just so much CC, guaranteed damage from Vote, and he is going for the crit build early on. No Ichabal, which is a little bit surprising, but it seems like neither of these hunters have really tried to hit each other at all, and that's what Ichabal's best for, is when you're hitting your opposition. So maybe this is a gentleman's agreement between Vote and emilitoo to just do all the hitting whenever it comes to the team fights.
I was going to say, there was a gentleman's agreement, but now Ice kind of showed his face on this left-hand side, but not going to be pressured just yet, emilitoo. He's safely under his tower, just farming away and clearing camps out. We'll see how the Hunters continue with their builds. The mid laners both working towards Warlock Sashes, although Wlfy with a nice lead at the moment, just because I believe Yammyn's not based.
And we're talking about iceicebaby off to this great lead. He started off 2-0, has gotten all 3 kills so far for Rival, also been the only death for Rival. And Adapting, because he got that kill, is right there in net worth. I mean, there is a 100 gold difference in net worth, which is nothing. So Adapting's done a great job of farming. The bounty for killing iceicebaby certainly didn't hurt him, but Adapting's done well thus far.
Jotuns for iceicebaby on the Serqet as
Love
well.
it.
Instead of the crush that we see so much of. You prefer it?
I do, especially on characters that you're really relying on their ultimate or their CC that they can bring, or in this case, kind of both for iceicebaby. 20% CDR is just so valuable. Let your teammates do the damage for you. You can go Crusher next. You can go Crusher after the Heartseeker. You've got plenty of options to pick up Crusher later on. Plus, Crusher passive has a scaling component on
You're
it, so
right.
the later that you get it, you're going to get more and more value out of it.
I guess because I always look at Crusher as being the item that works so well on Serqet because of the poisons as well. Like, obviously, extra dot means it's going to tick down quicker. But granted, yeah, you're right. I mean, the early game, she doesn't really need that extra dot anyway.
No, she'll
Mid-game,
one-shot you.
though, mid-game, that's definitely going to help to swing. So, Jotun's maybe the call for Serqet players.
I think that Jotun's is being undervalued right now in a lot of junglers. I know Mask has been a big proponent of going that second item again on junglers and picking up Crusher later on. I think Ice, if he goes Heartseeker now into a Crusher, could also go something like Heartseeker into the Magi's Cloak to stop any potential CC from NRG and then go into the Crusher. I think Crusher could easily slot into this build anywhere between next item and the 6th item. It doesn't really matter where he picks it up.
Oracle's spawning and both teams grouping up around them for now, but Callus on the front line means that NRG will fall back for now. And emilZy's trying to rip around the side, keeping out for the blink that could come through any moment, but it'll be a bird bomb as Adapting is in the sky. Looking to rotate in, emilZy's already taken quite a bit of poke in terms of his health, and it was only Callus trapped in the ring. Not the best target they wanted, instead Adapting gets knocked up and down.
Oh, ML still in that front line, gonna need a little bit of damage, but this is Rival. They use this sustain so well with the Raw. They play with it enough that they should by now.
But the Raw has used his ultimate too, so that's not going to be available for Secure. Be aware of the bird bombs and Rama too. They bait out emilitoo's ultimate. That'll force him to fall back as well as the taunt came up from Callus, but in goes iceice.
Still has the ultimate as well. He can toss emilitoo back, uses both relics, and Ice very, very low. emilZy gonna blink forward, but Vote already cleaned up ML.
iceice is getting low. The fog has been danced in by emilZy, but emilZy's low. iceice gets 2 kills off this engagement. emilZy's still being run down. The Gold Fury aggro, so Deathwalker gets the kill. And on the back, Adapting's trapped in a pit with the purple buff.
Man, so emilitoo must have had the poison on him and Vote killed him while that was still on. It spread to Yammyn, and now it's 1v5 on the Gold Fury.
I was about to say, if this was anybody but Achilles, so if there's anybody against other than a Raw, Achilles could go for a pentakill here. Just because of how he can set up, but Gold Fury's getting low. Good taunt from Callus. Going to make sure maniaKK can't get involved in that, and now maniaKK's going to run. Vote wanted to keep going. The rest of his team went like, no,
Did he crit him there? I don't know if that was a crit. If it wasn't, if Vote would have rolled well enough, that would have been a kill for Team Rival.
What went wrong in that fight?
It was just good bait there by by Rival. So emilZy is the first one in. He wants to go in along with Adapting, but it's only Kalas who ended up getting caged. The rest of NRG back up. Snipe was onto emilZy, so he's too low. And so the rest of NRG, seeing their tank get low right off the start of the engagement, just kind of back it up. Adapting comes in, and he crashes down on the call-outs, which he probably shouldn't have done because he immediately has to beads and still ate most of his health bar. So now he's back in base. So then that's Rival's opportunity. They utilize Raw's sustain to try and stay healthy and pull the Gold Fury in. NRG just try and bully them off of it. emilitoo goes up into the sky right in front of them just to try and pull them off the Gold Fury, and it works for a moment, but then it just means that Rival jump on top of him. The chase potential from Rival's composition is very, very good between Vote on the Jing, iceicebaby, of course, on the Serqet, and Wlfy's long-range damage from the snipe. It's very difficult for even a character like Ram or Nuwa to get away from Rival's comp.
7-1 then at just under 16 minutes in. About 3,000 gold lead for Rival now. NRG did get the Pyromancer in response to cut a little bit of the deficit, but it's not as much as you would hope for. But now they're looking to backdoor this tier 1 tower. With the sustain available to them, they're going to make light work of that very soon. But on the left-hand side, emilitoo does answer one back for NRG.
Ice heading back to the left to make sure that it doesn't become a tier 2 for NRG. Blink forward by emilZy, catches 2 in that cage, but he's already gone.
Oh, that was brutal, the amount of damage that came out there. That was a tank. That was an Odin. But he only had a sovereignty. And obviously, there are quite a few magical damage dealers there for Rival too. Adapting actually in the sky. And Rival know about it, so they're just trying to wait this one out.
But he's still going to crash down and immediately dash out. Deathwalker trying to chase him down. Doesn't quite strip that Magi's cloak. But again, it's maniaKK.
But maniaKK just managed to juke away. Now 5 members of Rival groups in the mid lane. emilitoo forced back to this middle lane now after trying to push out the left-hand side for the tier 2. Minions going down and the tower being looked at, already getting below half health. But still though, Callus tanking it up. Now Deathwalker, they'll fall back as the minions are all out.
And emilZy is respawned, and that's why NRG are able to defend that tier 2 tower. Good idea there from Rival to try and execute maniaKK there off of the Athena taunt. Just not sure if the snipe was off the mark or it just didn't do quite enough damage. No pen in the build quite yet for Wlfy, and maniaKK has that on Achilles, so a little bit of magical protection could have been enough to keep him safe from Wlfy's damage thus far. But Rival don't really lose anything for that siege. They get the kill onto emilZy. They lose their tier 1 in left, but they got a tier 1 in mid in response. So that's one of those situations where they try and push it. Doesn't really work out, but they don't stick around too long. A lot of middle-end, low-end teams will say, well, we committed, so we got to commit. We got to get here and make this work.
Totally would say force the issue.
Exactly.
Right? Like,
you can't do that. You just got to accept when didn't work out, that's cool. Let's just reset and try and do it again later.
I do feel like tier 1 tower in mid lane is more important than tier 1s in the outside lanes.
Agreed.
But tier 2s on the outside lanes definitely more valuable than a tier 2 in the mid lane, just from a positional standpoint.
Exactly. But tier 2 didn't go down for NRG there, so
But
still
it's
ends
weakened.
up in Rival's favor. Is it?
I mean, the tier 2 in middle is weak.
Oh, the tier 2 in middle. I thought you were talking about the
other
tier 2
one.
left.
Yeah. Okay.
We're on the same page now.
Yeah, kind of. Sometimes.
Yeah, like
On the occasion.
I like T now, I guess, since we're on the same page.
Oh, you do?
Sure.
Depends what kind of tea.
Earl Grey.
No, that's not very good.
That's like the most English tea I know of.
Yeah, I know everyone does. It's posh people tea. I'm common as muck. That's what I am. Tier 1 tower on the left-hand side, going to get taken down by Rival here. No answer from NRG, they were in position to do, and this is exactly what Rival did at the middle one, whereas NRG just happy to, we can hold up the tier 2s in mid, but this lead in terms of gold they're getting from these tier 1s is starting to add up.
It is. That's 1,000 gold now between those two tier 1s. Again, that's only spread through 5 players, so 200 gold apiece, but that makes a difference. Finishing off your tier 3 items a little bit earlier than your opposition, getting that extra ward vision, and with the Gold Fury due up in 30 seconds, that ward vision is going to be really critical because this next Gold Fury will be as well.
I respect what NRG have done though, is just respect Rival at this stage of the game too. You saw emilZy at the tier 1 tower go in, he disappeared, and with that, NRG like, okay, we just need to stall for a little bit of time now, farm up a bit more, we can try and play around the Gold Fury if an opportunity presents itself.
And it looked like a very weird engagement from emilZy because no one was even close enough to follow up, but I think his idea was that if I just blink in and buy some time, almost certainly die
Well, maybe
in this
get some
spot.
relics, right?
Get some relics or just force Rival off of this tower. Now, Rival didn't get weak enough to worry about that, and they killed him so quickly, but it did mean that Rival didn't get the tower in some way, so it certainly threw his life away, but I think it was intentional.
This Gold Fury could be quite important. emilZy's going to leap to try and get a gap close to see how low it's actually getting and whether they can contest, but he eats more damage than he bargained for, and Gold Fury's getting very low and already dead. maniaKK turned up too, just a little bit too late. Snipe came through and ripped through 3 members of NRG.
Good shell, though.
Not enough damage, but a big ult from Adaptin's going to try and force this fight.
Wlfy is the focus, trying to get away, juking inside that heal. The Athena on top of him. He's nice and safe, but emilZy is in vote with number 2.
And the front line is going to fall down here. maniaKK going to try and dance away as fast as he can. On the backside of this, though, Callus and Deathwalker kept going, looking at Yammyn, who gets taunted into the damage up from Wlfy, and Vote gets himself a triple kill. We talked about cleanup game 1. That was definitely a Vote cleanup game 2.
Oh, yeah. He's been the impact guy of the 2 hunters. You were saying the hunters are being left alone, so both teams need to watch out for them. Well, emilitoo has just been kind of on the run because his front line has been getting eviscerated by Vote and the rest of Rival. But it all comes off this Athena taunt, doesn't it? Every single engagement starts and ends with Colossus Confound. And that is why this dude has not been allowed to play Athena against top-end teams for a long time. This is the pick that has consistently given NRG problems, and here it is again. I really feel like this is the catalyst for everything that Rival has done so far.
Gold Fury, so Fire Giant and Portal Demon, and I should say the Gold Fury, I was going to say, all go the way of Rival at 21 minutes, which means this swing just grows and grows. 15 minutes, there was a nice jump there for Rival, and then again at the 20-minute mark.
And 8,000 gold is scary, but not, oh boy, sort of scary. But when you count all the gold that's left in the towers that Rival will almost certainly be able to secure here, that's an extra 5,000 gold. And at that point, 13,000 gold is scary territory for sure.
Especially with that tier 1 tower about to go down any moment, even to minions. So just 1 more minion left. maniaKK going to have to fall back to base and give that one up eventually too. Checking on the player damage, it is maniaKK at the top of the Achilles as you expect to see, but Wlfy has been ripping these ultimates off consistently, and they found a home most of the time.
They have, and a lot of them have been off the Athena taunts from Colossus. Not all of them. The last one in that team fight was kind of, looked like it was heading for the Athena taunt target, but actually ended up hitting the backline. But it was a great shell from emilZy that saved emilitoo from taking half his HP from that snipe. Yammyn as well, it still didn't end up mattering. That extra movement speed from the sprint, the upgraded Phantom from Deathwalker. Upgraded Phantom is insane. It gives you so much damage mitigation that it's so hard to kill the target that actually gets hit by it. 15% mitigation for 5 seconds. All the damage that was going into Wlfy, plus he was sitting in the heal, plus he had the Athena on top of him. That is so much mitigation that there's almost no way
It's like
that someone
old
from
Shell.
energy can kill him.
It's like old school Shell.
Yeah,
That's the way you
plus
look
you've
at it.
got new school Shell for
Yeah.
Kalas stacked on top of that, plus the Athena ult, plus the physical protections in the midst of that heal, plus he's got the Warlock Staff and the Book of the Dead health. Wlfy is unkillable when both of these relics are on top of him. You need all 5 members of energy dedicating themselves to killing him, and in that case, it still might not work out.
When that tier 2 tower on the right-hand side was just taken down there by Rival. Left-hand side, you could see Adaptin playing a bit of game cat and mouse there with Rival. He wanted to keep pushing the wave in, looking for a tier 2 on the left, but Rival expected him to come back to base, and when they didn't, he pushed in the wave, but then returned anyway. Just trying to get that extra farm, trying to find a small window for energy to fight back into this. At the moment, though, the levels and experience, the gold, the fire giant, you're just going to wait. You're just going to wait and hold on at the Phoenix line. And the Phoenix line's not terrible to try and defend here.
No, but Energy's composition really isn't that great for defending. You're looking for long-range poke. You're looking for great CC initiation potential on these sorts of defenses, and Energy don't really have either one of those. Rival only has Fire Giant for a little over a minute now, but that's a couple waves where they could just test their luck, see if they can find the right initiation and get this Phoenix, and if they don't, they'll probably just fall back for Gold Fury.
Adaptin in the mid lane right now, able to rotate over with that semi-global ultimate for himself. Kalas more than happy to lead the team in if required with a dash taunt, looking for some beads, but got to be respectful. They're going to wait for the minion wave first of all. Keep an eye on Kalas and Deathwalker. They're more than likely the initiators here.
There it is, dash taunt, not there. We're still waiting on that taunt. Actually ends up missing it, so Rival immediately back up, but emilZy's not letting him.
Yeah, nice little blinking and Odin ring too. Adaptin not using his ultimate just yet, and Rival just going to sit in the ring and look at each other like, all right, we all got trapped, but no panic, no over-engagement from Energy. Ult and Relic on cooldown.
Oh, there's the taunt, though, onto a couple frontliners. Snipe hits onto emilZy, and Deathwalker, the one to claim it. Gonna pick up a couple. Beads used, but Adapting has joined in, but he's already half HP.
Yeah, lost half his health. Going to take to the sky, but the Phoenix is already falling down. Rival take the Phoenix and start to swing towards mid, or maybe a cheeky play through the gap between the Phoenixes. Energy going to group around the middle Phoenix.
But Fire Giant's gonna fall off in less than 10 seconds.
No
They don't have
minions.
that long to get this Phoenix, but Energy still only 4 members. It's gonna be difficult for them to defend.
Yeah, they're going to have to give this one up too. And without minions, look how healthy Rival are. The tail end of the Fire Giant and the sustain from Wlfy really made an impact. No rod of Asclepius from Wlfy though.
Not yet. That's what I think he's gonna build next. In that next item slot, though, is that Rod of Asclepius. Gives him some extra movement speed, even more HP, some power, and of course the increased sustain, which will not only help him, but help Deathwalker when he's stealing sustain away from energy. It'll help Vote in his lifesteal. It's just a great item in any situation for a Ra.
It feels like Rival have just timed this to perfection in terms of the Fire Giant. After the Fire Giant, how they're going to take the towers, how they're going to do the Phoenixes. And then they tail-ended off with a nice little Gold Fury to round out the day before the next fire response.
Oh, but they've got to be careful because fire's up pretty soon, and
Cheeky,
energy is
cheeky.
all lurking
Vote.
here. They could be trying to lay the trap, or they could just try and burn down.
Oh, he smelt that.
the
You
Fire
saw
Giant.
that hot backstep of like, no, no, no,
Yeah.
no, 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 no. You didn't see me. I am not over here on my own. I promise you. He's going to wait for his team, and rightly so. Energy with the trap. The ward is down. Deathwalker from one side. Ice from the
Deathwalker
other.
sees him.
They know this is on.
Yeah, Deathwalker sees it, and Deathwalker's gonna go right in. Snipe hits onto Adapting, already below half HP. Wlfy has that Athena ultimate, so he's nice and safe.
Adaptin takes to the sky in response, trying to get away and re-engages, hitting 3. But the follow-up from New World wasn't enough as Wlfy gets 2 kills. The snipe from emilitoo did pick up Wlfy though on the tail end of that. But then emilitoo tries to get away and walks into the Scorpion.
You know what? I respect it from Energy. They were on their last breath, right? That was the
Hey.
deathbed for Energy. So may as well try and go out swinging, and they get Wlfy, but did you see how much Energy had to commit? That was almost every ultimate from Energy, and Wlfy still got a double kill and still almost lived in the midst of that engagement. That's why that build is so well crafted, the relics around it, and Rival just dominate this game.
Dominating game 1 for NRG, I'd say, even though it was a back and forth encounter. Rival, though, definitely turned up the heat in game 2. I should expect.
Yep.
We're going to a game 3, Ryan.
Man, and no surprise. Well, what a surprise that we're going to game 3. These two have always been so close, but it's always been Rival who ends up on top. NRG have got to shake it. They've got to shake the demon of Rival if they want to go to land.
So wanted to change, because game 1, I mean, picks and bans, all NRG. Game 2, we definitely all felt it was going to go Rival. What needs to change in picks and bans game 3?
No Nuwa. You just give up all the mid pressure when you go Nuwa. Your ability to kill Raw early on when his sustain isn't that great, where his snipe isn't doing half your health bar, it just isn't there with the Nuwa. You have to be in a really great position in order to make it happen, and NRG just wasn't able to do it. I think I'm over Odin. It got Rival once. I don't think we're going to see it again. Also, ban Achilles' Athena. Just ban it. It's too good.
Who do you guys at home think was MVP for that game? Definitely someone on the side of Rival, I'd say. A couple of options for yourself, because I think everyone had a pretty solid game.
I think it was Achilles. I think that Ice did a great job in the early game, but Achilles' protection of Wlfy and the way that he set up for Wlfy and Vote with that Jing Wei was phenomenal. The dude's a beast.
Fair enough. Let's head over to Tom and Tolly on the desk to break down game 2.
Thanks a lot, Graham. Fantastic stuff in game number 2. Watching Collis come out, watching Wlfy come out with the counter picks, playing the Ra. The Odin was selected afterwards, and nobody really cared. Tom Battinger, Dmitry Bergelov here on the desk, and as we watch this one come out to game number 3, what are you expecting to see here?
I'm expecting no Athena anymore, honestly. It was just such easy setups there for Wlfy's Raw, and they tried to deal with the Raw with that early Odin pick before the secondary ban phase, but just so many easy setups here when you have that Athena from Callus just helping him hit the Celestial Beams and those Searing Pains every time.
Yeah, game number 2 was Rival just being comfortable with their selections. As I said, the Odin picked up after the Ra, and nobody cared. He was just able to keep doing Wlfy.
Yeah, and that early rotation here also from iceicebaby, the snipe that was set up from the last breath, killing, adapting there, really helped the pace of the game for Rival.
Well, Ryan's going to be a little bit mad because it wasn't the support player here. It was the carry. Middle laner Wlfy is your MVP of the game. 3, 1, and 10, baby. I really liked how many assists he winds up getting. Not always looking. A lot of times you see the Raw save that ultimate for the last shot to confirm the kill. Wlfy wasn't really too concerned about the slash line, just sort of playing for the win. I like that style.
Doing a great job here, and just goes to show why that Rival really like the Raw here on Wlfy. Even with the cage there, he wasn't really too worried here. Getting the Rod of Asclepius, getting also the Warlock staff, he was so difficult to really lock down. We could really tell by that last engagement where it was an all-in commitment from NRG, which just wasn't fruitful enough.